Hellraiser's turn to pick.
Earthshaker.
All right, welcome back, ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls. Here we go, game number 2 now of this best of 5 series. As you see, a 1-0 lead currently for Hellraisers over Team Empire. Here in what is the final matchup for the European region of the Skin Coin WCA. Looking forward to seeing how things go in game number 2 now. As we mentioned, that first game, definitely a bit of an outdraft. I think it's safe to argue for Hellraisers right there, but also a great job on them for executing and responding appropriately. So I'm Breaky CPK, going to be joined by Skim once again. And all right, we have a fun start here. It was an Earthshaker first pick. They do give up Necrophos Ancient Apparition, though, on the other side.
Yeah. I like the Prophet pick from Empire. Prophet definitely a hero that is difficult to deal with in the current meta. He's just very annoying in lane. He can always get farm, and it provides so much flexibility in the other lanes as well, and just annoying push in general. So happy to see that banned out. But at the same time, I don't think I've seen a Necro in forever. Maybe you have. At least in the games I've cast, he's not been in it ever. Either he's been banned out or just flat out ignored. But Necro, of course, still a strong hero. Together with AA, certainly you have a lot of burst damage. You have a lot of team fight control. So that is actually pretty interesting to see that immediately straight out of the bat. And as I say, Batrider as well from Team Empire. I think this is a much better opener for Empire. Yeah, sure, you already give away sort of like offlaner and there's 4-position support, but whatever. This gives you much more flexibility going into this laning stage as to how you want to run your lane, what kind of like course you want to pick up, right? You don't really push yourself into that certain like niche or direction. So no Sven shenanigans here.
Yeah, no, this start's safe to say. Much smoother for Empire. Again, the Gostic Batrider, definitely a very comfortable player-hero combination there as well. So, and then the Batrider matchup against Necrophos especially is why I'm really liking the draft so far for Team Empire. We've seen it several times where you just put Batrider in the lane against Necrophos, even if that means a mid-matchup perhaps. But he will ideally dominate that matchup and make it a very difficult time for him. But, yeah, no, I'm with you as well. Necrophos really hasn't been, as weird as this is to hear, a popular pick in these last at least several days of this event. I know I mentioned it several times yesterday with Trouf as the co-caster at the time. And, you know, we kind of scratched our heads at that like, well, that's right. That's we're not seeing this hero. But we do see it here for Hellraisers. Understandably so. But, again, the Batrider matchup could be an unfriendly one if they happen to get that against them.
Oh, for sure. Batrider is actually a pretty good pick here, just in general. I like that Hellraiser's immediate pick, by the way, the Prophet, I keep calling it Prophet for some reason. The Necrophos and the AA together, because obviously AA is one of the better counters against the Prophet. Again, Necrophos. Why do I keep calling it Prophet? It doesn't make any remotely any sense. Anyway, the Batrider, though, is actually a really good hero as well. AA is not a good hero to deal with this in lane whatsoever. In fact, Batrider has a lot of kill potential on him. And, well, if he does catch somebody off guard, there's not a lot of save potential here. Yeah, you have the X, which I guess is some sort of save potential, but that's basically it. So this is Hellraiser. I'd say this is a pretty good start for Empire because Hellraiser doesn't have a lot of good ways to deal with this Batrider, really. X-Torrent, that's basically it. And this is actually something that Empire could potentially exploit, depending on what kind of heroes they want to pick up, because there's not a lot of control from Hellraiser's side just yet. So if they pick something, you know, something that sort of like punishes that. I actually was going to say the Phantom Lancer, but that already has been banned out. But a hero like the Phantom Lancer, maybe even going later down the line, going something with the Queen of Pain, a lot of burst damage, and again, there's not a lot of control. They have the X, they have Torrent, that's it. And I guess the Reaper Scythe.
I am the Legion commander right now for Hellraiser specifically, as speaking of a hero that's pretty good against Batrider and perhaps a little bit more control in the sense of the duel, obviously. So perhaps that's something that they're thinking about. But for Empire, the third pick now for them, probably going to be their 5 support here. You'd figure, is Disruptor still on the board? He is. Go that direction. They're going to go Oracle, though. So this is a little bit different than what we usually see. And there is the Enigma, the sexy Bamboo Enigma coming out for Hellraisers.
Well, that's definitely a signature hero right there. Oracle, a strong pick as well, actually. There's a lot of burst damage here on Hellraiser's side, so being able to, whoever target is, or whoever hero is being targeted, being able to save them with a false promise could be really strong here. And Enigma, I guess there's not too much that can cancel Enigma's Black Hole aside from the Fissure. So that's pretty nice. But in general, you know, it's not only about the Black Hole, as everybody will tell you. It's pretty much the hero just provides a lot of push, a lot of control, teamfight presence, can obviously build into those teamfight items with the mech as well. So just a generally strong hero. And then speaking of generally strong heroes, we have an Arc Warden.
5 seconds remaining.
Yeah, the last Arc Warden game we had was also an hour and a half long, so I'm kind of hoping that we're not in for a massive grind right here. If I'm not mistaken, you were casting that match with me.
Yes, that was a fun match to watch, though.
Yeah, it was fun, but it was definitely a grind. Yeah, that was Thompson playing it. That's right.
Yeah, very grindy as well in that regard. Yeah.
Empire's turn.
But they are picking it up here. Again, you assume Chappie is going to be the one to play it here for Team Empire, of course. So probably still need their mid-hero remaining. But yeah, going the Arc Warden direction, one that's going to be kind of avoiding the team fights and constantly pressuring your lanes here. It does seem like it makes sense kind of at the same time. Kunkka, Ancient Apparition with the Ice Blast, like they are going to have ways to catch Arc Warden if he's not careful when it comes to that split pushing so far. But overall, maybe a little bit more lacking on the control side still. Although Malphus, I guess, provides a little bit more now with that Enigma pickup.
There's not a lot of good ways to sort of like prevent his impact, though. If you remember the game that we cast with Thompson's Arc Warden, what they had to counter it sort of was, you know, either damage reduction on the Bane and the Tidehunter, or just a straight up Nightmare. But what do they really have here? They don't have any hard lockdown. They have the X Torrent again, that is a combo, but that takes like 3 seconds to really be in full effect, of course. And then they don't have a lot of good ways to deal with the Tempest Double, really. I guess the Malefice is there, but it's also, again, it's not really hard lockdown either. So, and you know, those cooldowns are also pretty long. So if you already invest that, if you invest the spells into the Tempest Double, you know, there's still going to be the Manta Illusions as well later on. So I think this is actually a really good Arc Warden game. So I'll really like this pick from Empire. But of course, Hellraisers can still respond to it with their last pick here. I wouldn't be surprised if they picked something like the Queen of Pain there, just something to sort of like be a little bit more spammy and have a little bit more burst damage. Because although as I say that, they actually also need physical damage. They have no physical damage just as I look at it. So this might actually just be a Necrophos mid and then just have like a core, like a very burst. It could honestly go back for the Sven as well. They could go back to the Sven. Now some sort of like bursty core carry.
That's what I was thinking. That came to mind. Not only the burst, but also just some more lockdown. It's definitely could use single target lockdown even. As Queen of Pain comes out for Empire, that or even a Wraith King comes to mind for the side of Hellraisers. I don't know if they necessarily have to worry too much about a mana burn. Maybe a Diffusal on Arc Warden, of course, could be there. But outside of that, wouldn't really be a heavy concern. And just that upfront burst that he can provide to just drop a hero like the Arc Warden, that on top of the Necrophos Reaper Scythe, you know, you get that early burst.
You know what we haven't seen in a while? CK. Kazan is not even that bad here.
Yeah, that's true.
The stun that he provides, you know, is pretty strong. He can be very active in the mid game with his team. It's not easy. He's not easy to bring down, and well, I honestly think they just need some carry, like you said, with additional lockdown. They definitely don't have enough lockdown right now. So something like the Sven, Wraith King, CK is definitely fine here, in my opinion.
Yeah. No,
either way, though, it's going to be difficult because any melee core that provides that is going to be kited around significantly by the Queen of Pain, the Earthshaker, the Arc Warden. This is not going to be an easy game for any carry they pick.
Yeah, maybe that's where the CK is your best option because at least he has a Reality Rift to pull in and close that gap a little more effectively. I mean, I guess the Warcry from Sven also is a possibility too of being nice, and the Cleave synergy with an Enigma Black Hole is fun, but it's those are probably the heroes they're honestly thinking of. I would not be surprised if it ends up being one of those three. Again, just the idea of just having that lockdown and just upfront burst when you do jump on said hero just makes the most sense. If they want burst, I mean, like a Phantom Assassin could come to mind, but then obviously your lockdown is not as strong then, so I do think it's going to be one of these carries that provides a stun himself to go along with it. Well, they're using all their time that they had built up right there. Okay, well, never mind. They go a little bit different of a route. They still physical presence for sure, but decent burst, I guess, with the shapeshift form, but obviously he does not provide any lockdown himself, so that's kind of the downside now. That pick, but
I guess if you look at Empire's side, they also don't have too much lockdown. They pretty much only have the Shaker, and then I guess the Batrider Lasso, and obviously they have the Oracle, but that's not like a hard lockdown either, really. So in that regard, you know, once the shapeshift has been popped, it's going to be really difficult to kite him around, really, because he obviously doesn't get slowed down in his shapeshift. So we'll see. I think this isn't too bad for Hellraisers. It adds to their push, of course, and it provides them with a lot more lane stability. But I think they're going to have issues in the laning stage, really. I don't see this Kunkka getting a lot of kills here. Obviously, you know, the one misstep from Empire could definitely get him a kill, but generally speaking, I think it's going to be a little bit difficult for him to really find a kill. There's not a lot of kill potential with these lanes either. So even if he hits a torrent on the Queen of Pain, like, there's not a Necrophos immediately jumping the Queen of Pain, like, bursting her down. Like, Necrophos is just not that kind of hero. So maybe in the off lane with the Enigma, potentially, but generally speaking, I think Milan, if anything, is going to look to stabilize the lanes more so than looking for kills.
Yeah. Top lane, I think Kunkka might have been seen placing a ward up here. Vanskor, he's guessing it might be over here. I saw him pinging, and he would be wrong, of course, as instead it's a ward that's blocking the camp. He might think it's over here, so we'll see if he's able to counter ward this or not.
I think they are suspecting a ward that has been placed deeper inside the creep camp, and if you place it on the low ground, you can pretty much see most. Yeah, see, they're like pinging. All right, the sentry's probably somewhere here, so if you place it low ground, you can pretty much check most of those sentries there. I don't know. This is why warding can be so difficult. Sometimes it's almost not worth it placing that sentry there, because if you don't get it, it's gonna be like just wasted money. But at the same time, you really want that block, or you really want that camp as well. So I don't know. Warding is so difficult, man. Playing support can be really, really difficult.
Oh yeah, that's those mind games there. It's just a lot of research, watching a lot of replays, especially against the teams you're playing against, and seeing the habits maybe. There you go.
He misses it.
Well, J4 got this one at the bottom lane, and 3-3 is actually going to be the one to get the last hit on it, so nice assistance there. But you're right back up top, and man, that is just out of range.
Oh, just out of range, and they're like pinging. Well, have you checked behind the tree, dude? Have you checked behind the tree? It's just really unfortunate because I think Vanskor TP'd out a little bit late, so he wasn't sure how quickly Kunkka could have gotten there. Because I think if he had checked it, like, Kunkka actually couldn't physically have been there. Like, he literally placed the ward, walked back, and then he saw him walking back, so if Vanskor had been there from the beginning, he would have known that Kunkka never would have been able to place that ward that deep anyway. So a little bit unfortunate for him, but let's see what Bambo can even make out of this.
Bottom lane, you see the block happening from Aposhka, and Gostik will pick up the creep wave and get some decent positioning because of that. Already down here, but yeah, not making a point to send Batrider mid by any means. And favorable matchup against the Necrophos, but they do have Queen of Pain, and would have made the lanes pretty awkward, so instead having Quat mid, she can handle her own, and have Rome coming out from Earthshaker, I'm sure, throughout this game. But Gostik essentially going up against a tri-lane down here. You will need to be a little bit careful. Obviously with that X even and X Torrent combo, level 2 Kunkka could be dangerous for him to have to deal with, but they do have the denying at the top lane of Sexy Bambo on Enigma, as well as just Enigma himself, again being a pretty strong farmer.
Look at Vanskor, he's even eating through a tree. Like, he's so sure there has to be a ward here.
You're
like
right.
He's not even thinking about the possibility of it being in that one last corner where he doesn't have vision. Actually, there's 2 corners where he doesn't have vision. Actually, he already invested 3 tangos as well, because he thought, like, for sure something has to be here. He's now going to find it.
There we go.
He's going to kick himself probably for it, but at least he gets it now. Even if he had to invest a little bit of gold. At least he gets it back, right? Killing that ward does give your gold back.
Breaks it even, exactly. Kunkka, meanwhile, going to be blocked in here. Cold Feet applied to Gostik. Not going to go off, though. Hal coming out. I believe it's only level 1, but still. Some kind of heal to help Milan, but 5 charges, now 6 charges of Sticky Napalm. Gostik, though, he's in trouble himself. The Cold Feet almost going off right there. Very far used, but he lands on the Torrent, and Gostik's going to get first blooded. And not only Milan will survive, but now Miposhka. Okay, he'll get away at least with his boots, but they turn on to the Batrider.
Milan with that Torrent, that was actually really beautiful. He knew that this is where Batrider was going to be. That was really beautiful. But with greedy from Empire, I think, trying to go for that kill without the boots on the Bat Rider just yet. It was just so tasty looking because he had like 4 stick charge or napalm charges, napalm stacks on him. So it's like in your head that has to be a kill, right? 4 to 5 stacks.
Yeah,
looks so juicy, but unfortunately they don't get it.
A lot of amp damage right there, but yeah, good job kiting and eventually getting the turn as mentioned. That torrent land by Kunkka. He's going to go back to base and kick on the regen, but I'm sure he'll look to TP back in. As top lane, we got Chappie and Vanscore doing some pulling and denying a bit of the creep wave there as a result. As bottom lane, they're doing their own pulling as well. And Gostick, you know, he obviously sees this, going to start applying the stacks and has that fire flight, so it's possible he could actually ninja quite a bit of this, and it seems like that's what he's going for, and they're not going to be able to stop it, so that's a nice play by Gostick there.
Actually, they still got the big one, also that's pretty good. But mid lane, this is actually, it's not even pretty to watch. Kaiser's just getting destroyed in this lane. There's not much he can do either. This is just Queen of Pain versus Necro. It's not easy for the Necro, and FN is just, yeah. His last hits, he's gonna have. He needs to have a lot of impact with this amount of farm that he's getting. So, you know, 2 minutes, 3 minutes from now, look out for FN potentially walking around with like a rune or something, because this Queen of Pain is looking really hot right now.
All 4 minutes coming in, thus the nighttime kicking in. Also the bounty rune spawns you see right there. A little bit of contention, but ultimately picked up by a couple on the side of Empire. But yeah, being nighttime, you got the Howl now, double the effect. If that comes into play,
might be able to get this kill on Milan here. They're probably waiting for enough stacks, so now they use the Fissure and then potentially just Firefly on top of him.
He's going to throw down the torrent on himself. He will block the Bat Rider, but out comes that Fissure. Ancient Apparition throws up the Cold Feet. No, that's just the Ice Vortex, actually. No Cold Feet just yet. Milan, though, he's going to be dove at the tower, and that will be enough damage for the kill. But now the turn kill on Miposhka, no, he's just out of range. One more auto attack needed, and the South pop from Gostick as he runs away. Mission successful. Can dive so much. Yeah, that's if he finds a support like that stranded by themselves, those sticky napalms, so continues adding them up and the eventual kill.
Unfortunately, I'm not sure Miposhka actually was in range for that experience because he's still just under level 2. So if he had gotten that kill or had gotten in range for that experience, I'm sure he actually hits level 2 there. And this Earthshake has been very starved. Hasn't really been able to find a lot of openings. Bottom lane, looks like they're going to go into Ghost Stick.
Don't know how much they can go in. Oh, definitely can. Yeah, God, I always forget about Chill and Touch, man. It just never ceases to amaze me how much damage is put out with that ability. So, nice collapse there from Hellraisers, and yeah, 3-3. He's even way beyond that tier 1 tower. Trying to pick up some farm, but realizing, all right, maybe a little bit too far. He'll fall back. Has Power Treads, a Magic Stick. That will prevent him to go with the Quelling Blade. He has a very good early build here. He's going to go the Necronomicon, which I feel like we've once again been seeing more and more lately on these Lycans here, as far as favorable item pickups. So no different in this game.
Yeah, and with that lineup, they need the Necro books. This is not a lineup where you build Armlet on your Lycan. This is a lineup where you just commit to that push later on. And I guess this is something we haven't really talked too much about, but that inevitable death push that's going to come at some point, or at least there's the 5-man push. Because once that comes in rolling, oh, Pimpushka, no, he should be fine. Oh no, he's going to get the Invis rune. Oh, that sucks.
He's good.
But yeah, once the push comes in, it's going to be actually difficult for Empire to take that head on. They have the Fissure and then the Queen of Pain, but that's it. So going forward, this is actually something that they have to worry about, and where their split push has to be really on point.
That's obviously Arc Warden's job. It's going to be a while before he's really online to do that, but he's already making great progress. Not really having much trouble at the top lane. Meanwhile, bottom lane, pull back in. The Fissure, a little bit awkward timing right there. He's going to block off the supports if anything, but that Chilling Touch again, the Cold Feet, and down goes Bat Rider. Miposhka needs to be careful not to get turned himself. Oh, he's going for it, Shapeshift. Activated Fissure for 5 more seconds. A couple of auto attacks, maybe get a crit. Oh, he runs the other direction. Miposhka's making the jukes right here, and he'll end up surviving for now. He finally finds it, but there's a lot of people here. Okay, he gets the crit, so he gets a double kill. Now maybe going for more. No, he's going to be rooted up, though, by the Oracle that poured it in. The Flame Break pushback, and 3-3. The tower damage is going to be enough. He will fall in the end, and now Milan is going to be able to TP out, however, and survive. So very good job by Miposhka, juking as long as he did.
Miposhka actually did try to go for the supports back there with the Fissure. He tried to time his Fissure perfectly, and if he hits the Kunkka and interrupts the Torrent cost, Bad Rider gets out of there. That was actually a pretty nice play, but unfortunately he doesn't actually hit the Fissure. But if he does, Bad Rider survives right there.
Yeah.
But still, pretty good. Or it could have been worse for Empire. It's still good that they get the Lycan, but if you're Lycan, you're still sort of happy. You get, what, 2 kills with your Shapeshift, with your first Shapeshift as well. And yeah, if you look at the net worth, he is definitely sitting there at the top.
Yeah, I switched it over real quickly out of curiosity, and oh my god, is he up there? He's a good 1,000 lead over the next person, and for 8 minutes into the game, that is absurd, actually.
Oh, that's what 4 kills will do to you.
Yeah, 4-1 and 0, you're right. Kunkka dealing with a couple once again. They've been doing this, and more charges, a sticky 8-bomb, ancient apparition. Not a whole lot he can do. Oh, Hasterin, oh no, the Fissure comes out though. And he's not picking that up. There is no shrine to use either, so Alon maybe get help from Kaiser. You got to be careful from Kaiser, though. Yeah, that's Queen of Pain even coming over. So good rotation once again, and this Kunkka finding himself running into that trap over and over. And that's also J4 going down. Okay.
Yeah, that's FN. He knew, of course, that the AA was still there because AA tried to help the Kunkka. So with the Hasterin immediately jumping down with the AA. That's pretty good. That's pretty good for FN. It's not that he really needed any boost, sort of, but like this Queen of Pain, ideally, this is the time where you want to find your first kill with your Sonic Wave, and that's what he did. Just has to be careful not to die this kind of Necrophos now.
Every time.
You know, the higher level Necrophos gets, the more difficult this matchup is going to get for Queen of Pain. Yeah, at the beginning, FN was destroying this matchup, but look at the last hits now. This is as even as it gets.
You know, they have a Torrent behind them, so if he gets close enough for a Reaper's Sight to put him into place, and that's a kill on FN. So you really have to be careful here. Yeah, he is living life on the edge. Oh, yeah, if that hits. Good job reacting, though. He saw the animation and figured he better get on out of there. So living life on the edge, but he does stay alive. That's the good news. Miposhka is going to pour it in and try to stall this tower push, but I don't know if he's going to be able to do that, actually, by himself.
How did that not cancel the clarity? Was that...
Did he use it right after?
I'm pretty sure he used it before. I might be tripping, but I'm pretty sure he actually used it before.
Well, did the infused raindrop maybe absorb that damage?
Oh, right, no, right, it blocked the damage,
yeah,
right,
yeah.
no, you're right.
That makes sense.
I was just really confused. Yeah, there it is, he still blocked the Shadow Dagger damage. Ah, this might actually be that Kaiser.
Yeah, he's definitely dead right here, right? Yeah, he absolutely is. Did not use a Ghost Shroud right there. Didn't find the opportunity to. Of course, it would have been risky, but Alon is also going to be run down. He came in late, tunnel vision, trying to help his teammate, and he has to fall in because of that as well. So nice couple of kills. Lycan did have his howl. It might have been just coming off cooldown, to be fair. Obviously, he wasn't watching him that whole time, but kind of wonder if that came into play. Perhaps maybe a little bit of a different story, but nice couple of kills from Empire. And FN starting to pick up now 4,000 net worth for him right here.
Yep, this is looking... This is not too bad for Empire for sure. Again, the sort of like 5-minute push that's going to come maybe like 5 to 10 minutes from now is definitely going to be difficult for them to deal with. But if they have the right items, then it's actually very manageable.
Whoa, what is this about? He's going for it, man. No, he's going to be stopped though. Chappie, the Midnight Pulse, if he used it at the beginning, maybe. The Eidolon's chasing the auto attacks. Nice bubble. That will keep him alive for now. However, there's still someone in range. It's not going to be enough
He's
damage.
definitely going to survive,
Yeah, he will live. Man, that attempt from Enigma at the top lane.
Wait, Chappie's running. What's he doing?
That was a little risky.
And Lycan's coming in now as well.
Uh-oh. Yeah, that's an Necronomicon minions. Chappie's definitely dead. All of a sudden, all these heroes are here. The Fate's Edict on 3-3 is eventually going to wear off, though. And now he's just running after Vanguard. Queen of Pain's coming in, though. You got to be careful for the turn. Double kill for 3-3, but at what cost now? Queen of Pain going to be X'd up if she blinks. She knows it, so good job with that X. Keeping her pretty far. That Spark Ray is chasing this whole time.
Yeah, he keeps waddling the Shaker. They definitely need it for the stun. Do they know where he juked towards, though? Oh, yeah, they know.
They're pinging the area. Okay, they finally ran into him. There you go. Yep, he's in trouble now. Gonna have to man fight. That ain't working. Sonic Wave in the face. Oh, that was quite the exchange at the top lane. I thought it was just gonna be the Eidolons, dying, whatever, but nope. They really committed.
Yeah, and for Chappie it sucks, especially because his Midas, like he couldn't use his Midas for like a solid 30 seconds there because he was dead, or 20 seconds, whatever. But overall, it's still not a bad trade for them. They do get the Lycan, they do get the Enigma as well. Both very high value targets, and of course the Black Hole is on cooldown, so that's pretty big as well. Sifia Empire, again, you feel sort of safe in this game right now, but again, you need the proper items. You need to blink as soon as possible on the Batrider.
Structures are fortified.
Hannah Midas picked up by Bambo again after he resurrected right there. Bottom tower, it's going to fall to actually Bambo. Gets it with the Eidolons, but now he's dead, so. Nice catch as Chappie actually gets credit for the kill with that Tempest double. So kind of a trade-off, really. As far as tower for his death. Necrophos continues to farm off the middle lane and recover of sorts. Again, the Queen of Pain was having a good time in that middle lane early on, locking him down quite a bit. But as you mentioned, as the level start added up, Necrophos started to come back quite a bit. And now he has his own Veil finished, and the Force Staff is actually queued up for him right now. So Lycan, Necronomicon level 2, halfway to level 3 even, just about. Yeah, 3-3, he just likes to run at people with this shapeshift early on.
He really does.
When he plays it.
Smoke out with the Batrider. Just before his blink, actually. I really like this move. Oh, they might even get 2 heroes here.
Necrophos, yeah. Probably dead.
Oh, they missed a Sonic Wave, actually.
Maybe a turn. Reaper Scythe? No targets. So.
Even though they missed a Sonic Wave onto the Necrophos, it was a bit awkward.
Yeah.
Oh, Bambo.
No Black Hole.
He doesn't have the Black Hole, though.
Kind of just walks up. Yeah, I was like, oh, we're going to see a big play. Nope, never mind. Just the Malphus.
So beautiful.
I mean, he was by himself. That wasn't going to work, so.
Good rotation from this Empire lineup. Again, this is not really something you expect pre Blink, but this is pretty nice for them. And it just puts the Batrider so much closer to the Blink Dagger as well. Nice experience boost for the Oracle as well. And this is pretty much how Empire has to play their lineup. Because before Hellraisers can really push S5, what you do is just gank. Just keep ganking them.
Whoa. They're running at Chappie at the top lane. Bubba goes down, but of course he gets X out of it. And thus is killed off. The ship coming through, so good roam from Kunkka. Again, just like before this time, a little more coordinated from Hellraisers, sending in the Necronomicon minions. Going to be slowed down right there with a Fortune's End. He puts a false promise on himself, and now 3-3. Did he overstep once again? Ice Blast comes out. It does connect on Advansker. But yeah, he's definitely living. Oh, he does not live it. Never mind. I thought he was for sure, but never mind with the Ice Blast. It does
they
secure
just barely
it, actually.
don't see the Lycan.
And then catch him up there. Miposhka, he's dead too now. X, Torrent, Reaper Scythe, that'll kill him. All right, but now Gostic is here. You also have Queen of Pain nearby. No Sonic Wave just yet. Gostic actually getting low himself. X is going to pull him back. FN's in trouble. He has to back off. That's a Tempest double coming in. As now Kaiser is all of a sudden left alone by Hellraisers, and they're actually going to end up dropping him because of that. So, again, they're diving beyond a Tier 2 tower with doing all of that. So that seemed a little silly, despite how many kills they got on Hellraiser's side.
Yeah, was definitely not worth it. They only got, what, the 2 supports? So this wasn't worth it, losing the Necrophos there. Especially diving this far without any vision. Like, if they have vision over there to at least know whenever support is sort of, like, rotating in, that would be nice. But, of course, being there between 2 towers, it makes it very easy for Empire to sort of, like, support one another. And I don't know, Hellraisers, I'm not sure why they're not just grouping up and trying to take an objective together. Usually you just see, like, 2 heroes grouping up together, or Bambo trying to go for an objective by himself as, like, a split pusher. But I don't think this is the way to approach this game right now, even though Bambo does have the Blink Dagger, so his split push is going to be much more effective, and he might have an escape out of this. Nope, never mind.
Greed is real. As he meant, he's kind of just doing some split pushing right here, and he did it in front of, I mean, he knew Queen of Pain was there, and was just banking on nobody else being nearby, and obviously back by middle lane, though.
Isn't it?
That is a Arc Warden. 4 other heals collapsing onto him, and now 3-3 again. He's like, all right, it's shapeshift time. Haven't used it in a while. Cooldown is ready. Vanscore is going to be run down. He does have a false promise, but he cannot get it off. Those minions, man, doing plenty of damage. The ship comes through, and that's going to be a Dead Earthshaker as well. The Courier's kind of flying around right here. You got to be careful with the entire side, but a triple kill for 3-3. I gotta say, 3-3 is one of the more impressive Lycan players I feel like to watch, because I know I've seen him a couple of games, and this is just another example. He's so confident with these minions and just running at people. He gets more kills.
He's definitely a really good Lycan player. And being this active early on without the Ormond is not necessarily something we've seen really too much of lately, at least. So this is pretty refreshing. But at the same time, I think Empire is also making it a little bit easy for him. At least in this engagement, you know, going in one after the other, or getting caught out one after the other. Because once the Oracle was getting caught out, why is anybody still there? Like they don't have any turn potential, because with both Oracle and the Arc Warden dead, what are they really going to do against 4 or 5 heroes? So I'm not sure why Empire was there in the first place. I think it's one of those, oh, we can maybe save him if we like Fish or somebody. No, they don't. And these are the kind of trades that Empire cannot afford, because they're against a team that can take objectives very quickly. So if they fall behind, they just lose all their objectives. And now HR, for example, is approaching Roshan, and with the DD with Necrobooks, this might just be very easy. Queen of Pain is not even there to contest with this team or with her team.
Yeah, Batrider's going to make it a little difficult, but double damage her in a Lycan. He's not shapeshifting for this just yet. In his normal form, he might use it at the last second, though. That's just possible. A fight could break out right here.
Out.
It didn't run out, you're right, so it's going to make it a little more difficult. Ship coming in, put the roam on everyone, drink up, and they will kill him. Gostick snatches it, though. He is going to die right here, right away, but the snatch is real from Gostick. Will he get out of here now? Probably not. Queen of Pain nearby. There's a false promise. Going to save with the black hole in the background. Catches Queen of Pain as well as the Oracle. And Queen of Pain is not going to fall. The Yule Scepter, the Reaper Scythe was not enough damage. FN will survive. They lose Oracle though. Then Batrider stayed alive in the backlines. In comes Miposhka with the Echo Slam. Kaiser's starting to drop. He's not getting that region as a result of not getting that kill. And a Sonic Wave will finish him off. Milan's going to be finished off as well as a Sonic Wave finally happens. 3-3 TP out. It's not going to work. He goes down as well. And the snatch from Gostick pays off big time for Empire, as J4 is going to be the sole survivor somehow. What a fight, though, for Empire, especially after that black hole happening at the beginning.
What a turnaround. That Fisher came in just in time. Both, like, the Oracle and the Orc Warden immediately knew we have to protect this Queen of Pain. False promise, the bubble on top, survives the Reaper Scythe, immediately yields themselves up, gets out of there, and then Chappie. Obviously, these chaotic fights are the dream of any Arc Warden. Oh, as I say that, actually Chappie gets X marked in the mid lane. Is he going to survive this? I don't think he should. No, he should be dead. Oh, great X mark from Milan.
Yeah.
But yeah, these are the chaotic fights that an Arc Warden needs and wants. And of course, because they did steal the Aegis, there was no way for 3T to be there in the fight twice. And man, it sucks if you're HR. Like, you know, you get landed beautiful black hole, 3-man black hole, you still don't get a kill. That has to sting a lot.
Ooh, that was a big fight. And there has been a theme of this event, especially here, Skim, that Roshan fights have definitely determined these games in terms of one team having a lead, having an advantage. They go for Roshan, and then the other team comes in, whether it's a snatch of it, they win the fight shortly after, whatever it may be. It feels like the team that's doing Roshan is almost hurting their chances of winning more than helping. I mean, obviously that's kind of a silly thing to suggest, but for anyone that's been watching throughout this event as a whole, you got to know what I'm talking about. I mean, there's been so many of these series we've had the swings, and this could be one here for Empire. As now they take that net worth lead, definitely, and you have both the Queen of Pain, but especially the Arc Warden is going to start to really get some good farm going now in this game.
Oh, Necrophos getting dragged in with the lasso. Oh, he's dead, isn't he?
No.
He should be dead anyway. Yep. I think for HR, I think the reason why they thought they could take this Roshan is, well, they basically could, right? Empire didn't really contest the Roshan at all, and I think once you get the Roshan, you feel very confident. Obviously, he didn't get the Aegis, but because he didn't get the Aegis, I think in HR's head, like, the first reaction was, well, we have to get something out of this. We invested so much time, and we invested all 5 heroes to this. Let's just take them, you know, certain spells off cooldown anyway. The Firefly, for example, was on cooldown. So I think it was just very sort of deceptive in HR's head.
So interesting down here. The X is going to bring it back, though. False promise, saving him up initially. He will get out, blinks away. He's good. 3-3 pops the shapeshift, though. They want to chase us. X does catch Queen of Pain again. Going to pull him back in with the Torrent stun. A couple of auto attacks. Going to get maybe a hit. No, the Fate's Edict actually disarming him for the time being. The Fortune's not keeping him in place. The Fissure block. They're keeping Queen of Pain alive this whole time, but it's not going to be enough in the long run. And the Reaper Scythe finishes off Oracle as well. So Hellraisers, it took a lot of effort, but they finally run down that Queen of Pain and even get the Oracle on top of that. But good support attempted from Empire. But now 3-3. He's going to help his team push out the bottom lane here. a little bit further.
900 gold for Lycan to end that streak on the Queen of Pain.
Are scanning.
Oh, wow.
That is absolutely insane. And suddenly he has like 2.5k gold again. Getting these kills is definitely very valuable. And this is where heroes like Queen of Pain, you know, those aggressive heroes that can build up early advantages, Timbersaw, those heroes that can build early advantages have to be very careful not to give away those advantages. Because, yeah, on paper, Queen of Pain may have 9 kills and only 1 death, but then 1 death is almost worth more than some of those kills that she's gotten, right? And this is definitely why any player, any core player like that has to be careful not to give away those kills. And that was a stupid kill to give away, because effectively he only died for an Ancient Apparition for nothing, really. Yeah. And yeah, it can happen once, and it only happened once to him. But you know, going forward, those deaths are really costly, because if Queen of Pain dies again, that could potentially even be some sort of objective. You know, this lineup from HR, they push insanely fast.
Yeah, it goes back to your point you made earlier, as they were doing Roshan, in fact, and of course that's where it kind of turned for Empire. But if Hellraisers manages to get a pick or two, they really will capitalize further in terms of pushing set objective, and they're going to head towards the top lane right now. Maybe try to go for that tier 2 tower. Ancient Apparition getting up there, placing a ward pretty aggressively, but shaping up as if they're going to be pushing this. Enigma almost has his BKB finished. He just needs the pattern before he's good to go. He has 1,000 gold saved up, so once he has that BKB, they really don't have much of a stopper. I guess technically the only thing they have is the lasso from Batrider. And that's if he's given him the opportunity as far as the positioning of the Black Hole. So it's going to be a tough stopper for Empire, and that's something, of course, they will have to be ready for here when that BKB is picked up, which, again, it's really a matter of one more creep wave at this point.
And that's definitely something where no matter what kind of state your game is in, if you have something like a BKB Black Hole, you can pretty much turn anything around, right, in theory. And we've definitely seen crazy games where this has happened, most notably at the Kiev Major, for example, where a Secret got eliminated by like an Enigma, effectively. So these are the kind of things that definitely can happen when you have heroes like that. But I'm not even sure HR definitely need to depend on that, because if you look at the net worth and the experience, they're sort of on equal footing, and they have a lineup that Empire cannot initiate into. They cannot just take this fight head-on 5-on-5, because their lineup just doesn't really allow this. They need more chaos, they need to pick-offs before they can really engage in team fights. So, as you can see, Empire was just able to, well, I guess, or rather HR was just able to take a tower. Empire, of course, did trade, but if that tower hadn't been there, I'm not sure Empire can get a trade out of this, because their lineup just doesn't push as quickly as HR does.
But at the same time, you do have Arc Warden and Mjolnir now finished. And of course, once he gets more and more items in that inventory, all of a sudden they have plenty of split push from their side. And so, at the time here, bottom lane, they're going to go into 3-3. This is a Batrider initiation. And it should be enough damage. The Sonic Wave, it's not. Oh my god, the heal's coming out the last second. He'll stay alive for the time being. He's just running this whole time. Batrider finds him though. Meanwhile, back here, Vanscoy, he's going to live with the false promise for now. Okay, yeah, the Reaper Scythe will finish him actually. And Lycan ended up surviving that whole time as he runs back to base. That's pretty crazy, honestly. That was 4 heroes on top of him. And he somehow managed to live.
Every spell used on top as well, except for, I guess, the Echo Slam. But this is just, you know, the power of the Lycan at this stage of the game. He's super tanky. It's really difficult to bring him down, and it's not going to be any easier with the AC on top as well. And this is where I think the Queen of Pain has to transition into a much more physical damage-based build. But yeah, even if she does get the Orchid, you know, her item build right now is pretty much 2 defensive items and then 1 sort of like utility item. The Veil of Discord, yes, it amplifies her damage, but at the end of the day, it's still only magic damage. So I don't know. It's not going to be easy, but it was a good attempt regardless. It was a good attempt. They definitely have to do something like this with their lineup.
Yeah, killing 3-3 especially, of course, is a big target. So it's understandable why they win for it. It's just pretty crazy that he was able to live, but goes back to maybe lacking a little bit that right click without the Arc Warden. And I think a build of Queen of Pain here, Orchid into, you know, Mjolnir and then Bloodthorn by the time the late game rolls around would probably make the most sense here to see. But she's going to get away from the attempted initiation of Enigma here as Batrider, who he went back in, trying to go for a catch. This is just a Tempest double, but I say just pretty lightly because that's still plenty of damage. So, understandably, Enigma's going to keep running. Let it wear off right there. But Necrophos, how's he been doing? He's got the blink, and he has his own BKB he's working on. But Kaiser's kind of been in the middle of the pack this whole game. Hasn't been able to take off necessarily on the Necrophos, but they're smoked up now. You know, looking to find an opening here with a black hole.
That's sort of what makes Necrophos so good in the meta or in this patch right now, is because you don't really need a lot of items on him to be really effective as well. You know, one Reaper Scythe and you pretty much win the game or win the fight already, and it's really difficult to bring him down. He provides a lot of sustainability in this team as well with his heals, of course. So it's just a very annoying heal to deal with.
Oh, here we go. Oh, BKB popped, and he's like, "Where are my friends?" Nobody's here. Sexy Bambo thought he had an opening, but good blink reactions. I mean, the BKB's down now for him, so he can still get a black hole, of course, but that means his options are a little more limited here in terms of openings.
Was a 10-second BKB as well.
Yeah.
Really awkward.
Just got that middle lane. They're going to catch Necrophos, speaking of him. And this should be an easy kill. There's all 5 heroes here. As they say that, yeah, they do burst him down pretty easily. And that's something we really haven't talked about too much yet, but the Fortune's End Purge and how useful that's proven to be this game against the Necrophos too. So.
Oh yeah, right. He's definitely used. Oh, top lane looks like they're gonna go on to Ghost Stick.
Maybe, but not. Yeah, there's too many nearby. I think that's a good retreat by Hellraiser. If they got committed, they would have been in a bad spot. So they're gonna catch Milan. But I think considering the circumstances, Hellraisers could have been a lot worse for them at that point.
Yep. Unfortunately for them, the lane is actually pushed in pretty far, so by the time they're going to push this tier 1 tower, I wouldn't be surprised if HR has already pushed out those other 2 lanes back across the river already. And this is sort of the strength the strength of HR's lineup, their fast push, and something that Empire sort of lack. They only have the Arc Warden and the Queen of Pain, which isn't bad by any means, but it doesn't really compare in that regard.
God, this Oracle, man. He saves.
Yeah, this Oracle is just really annoying to deal with as well.
The Earthshaker right there. Yeah, that's something he definitely got to... I know he's been throwing that Fate's Edict even on the Lycan as he's been running into fights, and of course, essentially disarming him. What's the duration on that? For up to 4.5 seconds, even at level 4. Right now, 4 seconds. Basically like a Heaven's Halberd that he has. Just on cast constantly ready to go, so you can use it aggressively like that, or of course on your teammates defensively if it calls for it. And he's been doing a good job keeping his teammates alive for the time being.
AA has Midas now, finally. With that, he's going to start working on those bigger items, and of course, the added experience is really important. Those talents are actually pretty strong. Definitely help with those team fights. The extra Ice Vortex slow and resistance reduction. That's pretty strong.
Love that 30 health regen, man. It feels so good as a support hero. You choose to get that, but yeah, Ice Vortex cooldown.
I think in pro games you usually see the Vortex cooldown.
Yeah.
I personally do really like the HP reduction or the HP increase as well, the HP regen increase as well. But it proves to be very useless in a lot of cases, because if you get singled out as a target, you probably just get bursted down by the Queen of Pain, by whatever, in the first place, and most of the time that HP reduction or that HP increase doesn't really do anything, but the Ice Vortex cooldown is actually pretty strong. It gives vision, of course, it helps your teammate with the slow, of course, so this is actually pretty strong.
Oh yeah.
It's just difficult to sustain because as AA, you're notoriously low on mana. That's just one of the big issues.
That's what I was going to bring up. Yeah, it's 110 mana cost every time he uses that. So you look at his mana pool right now, only having just under 700 mana. And that's, if he wants to only just spam that ability, you know, can really look at that 6 or 7 times in a span right there. So well, we'll see what he gets. But I do notice Enigma going the Octarine Core, and even the Refresher on top of that. I'm pretty sure he went this last game. We saw him. Was either yesterday or the day before. I'm not sure, but it's so good. That with the talent mixed into the 50% cooldown reduction, it basically makes the Black Hole and the Refresher, like he's going to have Black Holes ideally every single fight ready to go with this kind of build. So usually against Enigma, you're like, okay, Black Hole's down. Let's try to make a play now. It's hard to do that once he gets these items here. At this in this game, but it's still a little bit off. He obviously almost has the Octarine Core, but meanwhile, middle lane, we are going to see engagement finally, but that X pulls him right back. Oh, down here, Ancient Apparition gets picked off by the Arc Warden Tempest double, though. So they get
Shadow
something
Blade
out of
makes
it.
it very difficult from here on out, and thus far we haven't really seen those supports, you know, carry around a lot of detection. But I believe this, or soon, they will have to plaster a certain lane with sentries. Like, Arc Warden is just... It is not difficult here to bring down once you catch him, but you need to catch him. That's one of the big issues, of course, with the Tempest double, and just him being very elusive in general, playing very safe, having a Shadow Blade and other BKB as well, so they just need to catch him off guard, but they can't really find an opening just yet. And in general, it seems like HR feels very hesitant in terms of what they want to do, really. Looks like they're just content with farming and just building an item advantage, or building items, rather. I wouldn't necessarily call it an advantage, because if you look at the net worth, they're actually behind. So I'm not sure that's the right approach to this game, but I think from their perspective, they're also not really ahead either. So I can understand their hesitation.
Yeah. Yeah, it's definitely a close game, and it's one that you got to be a little bit careful on either side. Definitely can't feel comfortable as far as a lead by any means. And in Arc Warden's case, it's really about getting the butterfly now, especially, and then maybe starting to really kick in with that split push. I mean, you look at the top lane, hell, it's even the tier 1 still being up over here, so they'll have to take care of that eventually. I've noticed Lycan as well. He's been working on this AC for a while. Obviously, went back for the BKB, but the AC almost finished now for Lycan at this point, and it's going to be a big item, I feel like, for Hellraisers. That's going to be the item of maybe trying to not only go for Roshan, but then, of course, trying to push tier 3 after that for this team. So
I wonder when Chappie's going to build a Diffusal Blade. I know that, yeah, they have the Purge from the Oracle already, but if he has a Diffusal Blade, he has a lot of kill potential on those Hellraiser heroes, on a lot of them. He can definitely solo kill the Necrophos. I mean, he can definitely solo kill the supports even without the Diffusal Blade already. But with the Diffusal Blade, there's just... He might even force out a BKB or like a shapeshift on the Lycan if he has it. So I'm surprised that he hasn't picked it up yet, and I can understand why he's not building it, again, because of the Oracle. But I think if he has it early on, it could definitely put a lot of pressure on the map.
Shapeshift, he couldn't get it off because of the lasso, but no, he actually does get it off as the BKBs are used on either side. And now 3-3 is running in. Gostic, they got the quick pick on Ancient Apparition. 3-3 though, he's hunting for some target. Vanskur, he's feeling that damage. And he goes down actually. He almost looked like he was trying to go for the false promise there, but couldn't get it off in time. And they also take out Batrider behind. So that was Empire attempting to go for a jump, and it obviously backfires for them. As,
this is where Hellraiser's lineup sort of like shines, reacting to these kind of ganks, and then of course turning them around. But then more importantly, banking on getting those kills, like turning it into an objective. And looks like they want to take the Roshan. I'm not sure Empire can really contest this, so they're obviously trying now.
It's a really good team at keeping them busy, and especially with what happened earlier too. I understand Hellraisers is very scared to just outright commit to this at this point. So they're gonna back off for now. But yeah, with the Tempest double, they're gonna catch Kunkka even. He almost by himself. Kaiser comes in, not only heal him up, trying to save him. Not gonna be enough for the Emma now. Poshka is in a bad spot, and he goes down to 3-3. Some big crits coming out there. Buyback from Kunkka. Wow, maybe this will be the Roshan Q.
I'm not sure. Because they pop Shapeshift, I don't think they're going to go into Roshan.
Huh.
Yeah, you can take Roshan quicker with Shapeshift, but ideally you want to use it or have it towards the end of the Roshan so that you can run out of there immediately. But, yeah, this is a bit weird. This is HR slipping up a little bit. They shouldn't give away these kills. I know it's not easy to not die against, you know, that instant burst from Queen of Pain and Earthshaker, but at the same time, they can't really be allowed to be split like this. And thus far, they've done a really good job at that. They've definitely done a really good job at not getting picked off, but, you know, one misstep from Milan and suddenly he's dead. Suddenly Empire find a kill and even force a buyback, and might even get another kill here.
I don't know if I'd say force a buyback. That was a pretty quick buyback reaction on his part. The X, of course, causing issue once again, and Lycan, Shapeshift, he's running back in. He's taking some damage. He pops a BKB, though, going into the bubble. He has to be very careful about this run, though, man. False promise going out from Oracle, and yeah, Chappie's done plenty of damage nearby. He goes for the TP out, though, and 3-3 will survive. Those minions still beating down the Ice Blast. That'll guarantee the kill on Oracle right here, as he does explode after the facts. After all of that chase, they do eventually get that kill. I heard a Sonic Wave? Did that
onto the AA.
Okay.
It actually missed.
Yeah, I was going to say, that looked a little bit off. Reaper Scythe does catch Earthshaker, meanwhile. So they lose AA, but they get even Earthshaker dead for 80 seconds now up here. Somebody just TP'd out. That was Kunkka. He gets away before. So, man, these fights are just chaos. I know I've been using that word so much, chaotic, here in this last week and a half in this tournament, but I feel like it just fits every time in terms of just another example there.
It really does, especially in this sort of fight. You know, the Lycan runs in really deep. His teammate his teammates can't possibly catch up with him, and then they're sort of like forced to take a fight they don't want in the backlines because they're most likely going to lose it. It's just very chaotic. It feels a little bit as if both teams have a little bit of like different ideas within the team as to how they want to approach the fight, what they really want to do. Empire had the right idea in mind with, you know, trying to get that kill into the Lycan, but at the same time, even if the Batrider gets that lasso, there was not enough support to actually kill the Lycan. So I'm not even sure what that idea was about.
Yeah.
I don't know. It's in general, it just feels a little bit chaotic. But I think both teams are still very much, you know, on their path to take this game. Both teams, I think, you know, in terms of what they wanted to accomplish with their lineups, they're still pretty much on that route. It's just difficult for both teams to really execute it because they sort of like counter one another. You know, HR wants to like sort of like group up and sort of like team fight, or maybe wait for somebody or wait for Empire to overextend and then they look for fights. But Empire, of course, don't really want to give them that opportunity. They want to split the map, spread out the map, and then potentially go for pickoffs. It's just not easy for both sides, really. And as you can, I mean, even earlier when I made the point, you know, when they attempted the Roshan, I was like, well, if they get a kill, they can look towards objectives. But Empire, as you mentioned, they have really annoying tiers to deal with. They have the Shaker, the Batrider, the Arc Warden with the Tempest double alone is already such a big nuisance.
To me, it seems like the Arc Warden hasn't necessarily had the impact that you would hope for. I mean, and that's weird to say, it's considering his 24,000 net worth in the game, and he's so far ahead. But again, usually when we see an Arc Warden that's got, you know, farm like this, especially, we're seeing even tier 3, you know, constantly starting to get harassed now at this point in the game. And I go back to him in this top lane. Even the tier 1 is still up. We got tier 2 middle lane up right here, and perhaps that's to the you know, obviously the Radiant side here, and Hellraiser is doing a good job of reacting and not giving him these openings. But that's something for me that I've kind of just recognized from Empire, where we haven't necessarily seen a lot of the Arc Warden doing that crazy split push that, again, we maybe are used to seeing. But he has a Chrysalis now to help. So
you're definitely right. I think the Arc Warden thus far has been very focused on more so like building the advantage more so than applying pressure on the map. And we can definitely tell that by the way that, you know, he's been sort of like playing this game. How many kills does he have? He has 4 kills as an Arc Warden, like 40 minutes into the game. I'm not saying that Arc Warden needs a lot of kills, but I think you can basically tell that he's not really trying to, you know, force HR back into their own base or force them from one lane to another. He's just trying to push up the lanes a little bit at least, and then just, you know, building his item advantage. Even though he does have the Shadow Blade, which in theory should allow him to find those pickoffs, but he's not really trying to look for them. If anything, if a hero does show up on his lane where his Tempest double is, sure, he'll try and get a kill there, but he's not actively looking for a kill, which I can't blame him for. If he builds that item advantage, or rather he has to build that item advantage, because in those team fights, they have a lot of ways of like shutting him down. There's a lot of good ways to deal with him right now, you know, with the Blacking Bar, Black Hole, for example, the Reaper Scythe. There's a lot of ways to sort of like shut him down, even during the BKB. But if he survives through all of that, he can just destroy them if he has the right item. So
yeah.
I understand why they're doing this. Arc Warden, at the end of the day, is Empire's key to success. Like, they 100% have to rely on the Arc Warden to carry them through this game. So if he wants to be 6-0 first before he fights, I understand that. And they're not really under a lot of pressure from HR anyway, because HR haven't really applied that much pressure either.
Well, I mean, it's almost like as we just started talking about that, Chappie's all of a sudden doing it plenty at the bottom lane. I mean, he's already starting to now get damage on the tier 3 tower down there, so that's working. What's going on over here? 3-3, he pops a shapeshift. They're running in.
All right, I hope this fight disengages because I want to talk about something. Look at that sentry there. Just at the edge. They already de-wooded it. They already de-wooded it. But it was just at the edge. It's so close. The Empire just placed the ward. Glad that they did, because otherwise they would have probably walked into a trap there. So for them, I like also the way J4 reacted. He's like, well, I'm not going to deal with this ward because I want them to think they have the superior vision, so we can initiate on them or counter initiate on them. But Empire do not fall for it.
They have a little bit of a chance here for Empire to make a play, but again, that being the Lycan shapeshift, but that's already just about off cooldown, so it's not one of those you can really react to, unfortunately. And it's gonna become basically impossible to react around once he gets level 25. And in fact, he picks up a tome to get himself that much closer, so it shows you how much priority they're trying to get him that 25. And of course, it's understandable. I mean, you essentially go from 18 seconds to then 33 seconds duration with minimal cooldown. So. And Lycan, as we all know, when he's out of the shapeshift form, he's almost like half the hero, if not even less. Oh, bottom! They were going for the black hole, but FN is a little bit too quick. He did not cast black hole. He did cast BKB, though.
I believe that's the second time we've seen the the BKB wasted.
Yeah.
So the first 2 BKB charges have been completely wasted, and this is just the way that HR and Empire have both been playing. They're trying to avoid each other as much as possible, even though I think one of them should be more active in terms of looking for kills, but they're trying to avoid these big fights, obviously. I think from both sides that's sort of understandable. And it just leads to those awkward executions where they're sort of like throwing their spells and abilities at one another, but then they retreat immediately afterwards. You know, they use the lasso on the Lycan, but then they see the support, so they immediately retreat. They throw the BKB on the Enigma, but then they see, well, I'm not going to get this anyway, my team's not here, so immediately retreat. It's a bit awkward, but... Well, I still think this is fine for both teams, really. I think both teams really have a really good shot at still winning this game. It's just honestly going to come down to 1 or 2 team fights from here on out.
Yeah, one of those team fights going to happen, though. We've been in a pretty null phase for a while now. It's the occasional close calls, but it doesn't really happen. I mean, Roshan's been up for a while here. It's understandable. Again, they're not just diving.
Oh,
no.
He sees Miposhka.
Okay, well, it's not Queen of Pain, but it's an Earthshaker. They'll take it. He's going to try to make a juke, but there's no way he's going to go to this one. Reaper Scythe will finish him, and he's dead for 80 seconds now. So maybe that's a little bit of the opening that Hellraisers is looking for, knowing they don't have to deal with him for the next 70 seconds here this time. And double damage even spawning bottom. I believe they pinged it out. So maybe going to pick that up, head towards Roshan, maybe bottom lane, tier 2 towers up. Some kind of objective.
Yeah, you can already see them during the line. I believe it was Bambo that drew the line. Let's invade their jungle. And I like this movement a lot. With the Shaker, that's a lot of control gone, and they definitely, needed to get rid of him before they really wanted to do something. And though, as I say, that doesn't really look like they're actually doing anything.
Yeah, I think they got distracted right there. They saw Vansco for a split second, so they kind of just wanted to run after him, but no, they're going for tier 2 mid. Okay, that makes a little more sense.
Well, that's fine. That's fine.
Yeah, again, getting something out of this. So tier 2 middle, maybe tier 3 bottom. I mean, at this point, I don't think you're getting Roshan, that's for sure. So
nope.
We're gonna try to get Gostic right here, is cutting their creep wave. Oh, they're gonna catch him.
She's probably gonna BKB and force out a black hole.
No, yeah. They got the X. Matter obviously with the BKB.
Oh, actually, they don't need
TP.
to black hole. Never mind.
Yeah, too much damage. Top lane. Whoa, that tier 3 tower just about died. Actually, it's gonna die here. After the fortification, yeah. So there, Chappie, he's starting to do more and more now. It's like he heard us, basically. I guess that was the timing.
Well, at the same time, as we were talking about it, he literally finished his Crystallis. And yeah. No, not this Crystallis. I think it was the Crystallis that he finished. And now he has the Daedalus. He doesn't really get much more from this, or he doesn't really need more items than this. He's probably going to upgrade either the Shadow Blade to something else, or he's gonna get like the 7th, 8th, 9th item with like the Manta style, maybe Necro Book, maybe whatever. But that's basically it. So he has to apply pressure now. Like he's done farming.
And score.
It is 3 a.m.
He's probably dead. Yeah, he's definitely dead. Never mind, he's not dead. Faith Edict, pretty strong. Reaper Scythe, pretty strong too.
He's dead now.
That he is.
Let's both supports down. That's a free Roshan.
Yeah.
Both supports down. The Bad Rider's still dead.
Be free.
Yeah. And this is where Art Warden has to apply pressure on the other lanes now. Queen of Pain as well. They need to make sure those lanes are pushed out, because if they get Roshan now, they can immediately run down mid. Though it looks like they want to contest this. I don't think this is the right decision.
Oh, maybe go for the steal. Gostic, you went a little bit too early. Just throws out the flame break.
Black hole and the Queen of Pain.
Yeah, what the hell's that about?
Yeah.
Well, that was middle lane. Okay. God, this is quite a distraction right here. Several fights. Chappie gets a kill on Milan. What is happening? Okay, they get Roshan though. Kaiser, he picks up the Aegis, and now 3-3, he's charging in with that shapeshift. Looking to find a chance on somebody. Chappie. He's Gonna keep away though with the Force Staff. That was really weird. I mean, it's just like so it seemed like they were committing to Roshan, and all of a sudden 2 other heroes are just jumping others elsewhere. And
if they hit the boat on the Queen of Pain during the black hole, I think that might actually be a kill. If they keep her long enough around before she can get the BKB off, that might just be a kill. But it was just a bit unfortunate. They didn't really time it or chain it properly, and then she gets the BKB off, so obviously she gets out of there. But I think this is a good play. I don't think Empire should have been able to contest Roshan anyway, but keeping both the Arc Warden and the Queen of Pain away from Rosh Pit ensured the Roshan in the first place. So it was pretty nice. But yeah, with this Aegis now, Aegis is actually on the Necrophos. Interesting.
give it to him.
Because sometimes you see it on the Lycan, and then you'll siege the tower without the shapeshift, and then when you come back up, you shapeshift out of there. So that's a bit surprising to see. But in general, this should be the last tier 2 tower. Like, HR should definitely push down this tower with the Aegis.
Yeah. Aegis is an awkward item on Lycan, just for that obvious reason of the shapeshift. You die with, you have it active, and it's like, oh, now you're back up, and it's still on cooldown. Now, with the talent, I think that does give more value for sure. Picking up the Aegis, but still. They choose to give it on Necrophos, who may come into play here.
Look, Kaiser should have, there was a strong chance of him actually dying mid here just now. Yeah, he has the Aegis, but there's so many ways of picking him off and then dragging him back to a very uncomfortable position, so he was playing super aggressively.
Oh, now it's back over here. You're going to lasso up. BKB is ready for Enigma. Meanwhile, 3-3, he's trying to take out Vanscore. The Ghost Scepter prevented that. Finally gets the bash, though, and ends up getting the kill. Sexy Band both. Those are the Midnight Pulse. He's going to be taken out, however, before he can use that Black Hole. They do lose Enigma. Reaper Scythe going off. Not going to do any damage, though, due to that BKB of Chappie. Kaiser's just sitting in the midst of this. Echo Slam off to the side as 3-3 will tear him down, though, and now he's going to go for Chappie in that shapeshift still. FN trying to help the cause. Chappie, though, too much damage. Oh, it barely comes out of shapeshift, and now 3-3 diving a little bit too much is going to end up falling right here. Remember, no Aegis on him. Kaiser still has that Aegis. He also has Cheese. So at least the Aegis going to come into play. Will they commit to this? That seems a little risky. No, they're not going to.
It's risky against a full HP Necrophos. He has Cheese as well. They're unlikely to kill him, really. And if anything, if they get too close to him, he could have turned around on the Queen of Pain. So it's good that they don't pursue it any further, though they do keep pinging it out. But yeah, this was a strong fight for Empire. It was a very split fight as well, and I don't think they should have been able to win the fight as much as they did. But getting that Enigma down this early, catching him out and then forcing out the BKB of course. Well, he had the BKB and then got lassoed. But yeah, being able to kill that Enigma as early as they did, not having a black hole online for HR actually hurts them a lot. And the Kunkka also got kited around by the Queen of Pain, so he wasn't able to help his cores whatsoever. And Empire was just able to split the fight into like 2, 3, 4 mini fights, and that's the way for Empire to win these fights. Really, have as much chaos as possible, because if you create chaos against a lineup like HR's, there's no way for HR to combo their spells, right? And that way, Empire was just able to take that fight. It actually was really close. Honestly, 3-3 could have potentially killed Chappie there. Although, as I say that, Chappie is going to get a kill onto the A.
Yeah, Lasso, of course, making that happen. No more Lasso. So the rest will be fine for now. FN was trying to cut them off.
That's actually 60 seconds without the A. That's a lot of downtime.
Yeah, it does mean that they won't have the Ice Blast to help defend right here. In fact, Chappie sends in the Tempest Double. It's down his bubble. We're going to harass him quite a bit, though, with the Kunkka especially, but he'll get a couple of auto attacks off before he finally despawns. You just see even Milan. I'm going to be careful about that. Scythe now finished on the Queen of Pain. Interesting. She ended up going to the AC. Now she has the Scythe picked up. She did get the 60% lifesteal talent, of course, at level 25, but more control to work with for the team. And Arc Warden, he's sitting on 6,300 gold. He's in that territory now where Moonshard is going to start becoming a thing, I'm sure. And I mean, looking at his inventory, I don't know if I can see it any other way. Probably going to be the Moonshard next. Well, at this point, last initiation, they catch Necrophos. Tempest Double just spawned as well. BKB's activated. The Black Hole in the back lines. It caught a couple. That's a Tempest Double. The real Oracle is caught, though, and they will drop him at least. Off to the side, FN, though, with that own BKB. Of course, the lifesteal kicking in. The Reaper side, not enough damage initially, but they do secure the kill shortly after, despite the Echo Slam attempt from Miposhka right there. They do lose Enigma off to the side as FN, the dot ticks him down, but definitely a 1-5 for Hellraisers. And 3-3, he's going somewhere. He's going top.
Yeah, but smart reaction from Kaiser or from FN, already pushing out this top wave, making sure that FN or 3-3 cannot touch this tier 3. And this is pretty much what FN has to do now, making sure they can get close to these towers. Though, as I say that, it's not easy against 4 heroes, and they might have to concede either the buyback on the Arc Warden or Elena Rax. And even if Arc Warden does buy back, I'm not sure how much he can do without the supports, though. Shaker does come back in 20 seconds, so that should hopefully be enough to deter HR from pushing high ground.
J4 will actually live. 3-3. Deter? Nah, he's going to go in. Now he'll back off. The bubbles, of course, are an issue there. And Chappie just going to use the Tempest double to counter push, but they got the buyback, as mentioned, out of Arc Warden. So already a victory there in that sense for Hellraisers.
But yeah, like I mentioned earlier, this is pretty much the fight that HR wants. They want to fight 5-on-5. They were all grouped up together. They were able to play around the black hole, play around each other's spells. Whereas Empire, what were they really going to do during the black hole? They could only really right-click the Enigma and maybe the Necrophos, but that's it. They were in a bad position. Like, it was pretty much a dream position for HR. And then, of course, they fought 5-on-5, and that's where Empire is always going to be disadvantaged. Well, they're always going to have a disadvantage in that scenario. So, going forward, they have to avoid these kind of fights. They cannot possibly take any more fights like that.
Oh, they catch FN, actually. Big kill.
Oh,
Abyssal Blade. The BKB used doesn't matter. The Reaper Scythe's not going to do damage, of course, but they get the kill nonetheless. And he's dead for 100 seconds. He does have a buyback. Oh, Sexy Bambo, meanwhile, is found, but he blinks before they can really jump him. And actually, Gostic has to get out of here. Yeah, he's going to force Staff away, so causing a distraction, I guess. But 3-3. That's backdoor. Can't do too much just yet. Going to pull his minions back, and maybe this Radiant side wants to kind of clump back together, because right now they are pretty far spread out. Okay, yeah, they're going to meet up in the middle lane. Black hole is ready for Enigma. But yeah, they would love to get this buyback on Queen of Pain now, of course.
Yeah, I like the idea, though, from Empire to be active on the other side of the map, because if they get the kill on the Enigma there, that discourages potentially the push from HR. They already also drew the attention back away from their own base. So that way they were able to sort of like set up a defense, and now it's only 45 seconds until Queen of Pain is back. I doubt she will have to buy back, really. They have a lot of ways to stall here with a Fissure, of course, with the bubbles. So Queen of Pain should not have to buy back.
Lasso, Kunkka, going to be pulled in. Will he get support in time? Absolutely not. Too much damage. 3-3. He's running up top, though. He's going for the top tier 3. He's going to try to split this up a little bit. Bubble goes down, though, from Arc Warden. There's a BKB use out of 3-3. 20 more seconds for Queen of Pain. Good hold so far from Empire. And with only 15 seconds, yeah, that's going to be it for Hellraisers. And I'm thinking back at that kill, and, you know, he used the BKB. Obviously, he still died anyways, but the fact he got that BKB off was probably a pretty big deal still, because the Reaper Scythe didn't kill him because of that. And that means he would have had another 30 seconds here still being dead, and you got to wonder if that would have then caused him to be like, all right, I got to buy back for this.
Yeah, that's actually a really good point. That's a really good point. That definitely salvaged the situation a little bit. Even if it was obviously a 7-second BKB charge, that's still very worth it. But yeah, HR. I think if you're HR, you gotta feel good right now. You know that you can win these fights. You know that you should be able to win those fights. And if you force those fights, or if you keep on forcing those fights, you might even be able to win this game. Question is, though, can they really put themselves in a position again where they can get those fights, right? I think if you're Empire, you definitely want to spread the map and the game as much as possible. And they've definitely shown that they want to do that. It's just, you know, sometimes you just fall into that trap where you see a target, you jump on them, and suddenly it's more than one target, and then you think to yourself, well, we can keep fighting even if they can't. But right now, the map is a little bit difficult for Empire to really approach. Obviously, the Arc Warden can always explore the map, but for anybody else, it's really difficult to really explore the map. The Queen of Pain died because she ran into a random torrent, pretty much.
Yeah.
This is not easy for them, and as you can see, they're all grouped up. They really don't want to give HR an inch right now.
Lycan, he's putting on to his wolves up here at the top lane. Going to keep the pressure up, force Empire to react in that area. But yeah, no doubt Hellraiser's looking to pick some kind of fight, although Sexy Bambo's not with the team currently. He's actually at the bottom lane, going to try to push this out. Instead, he needs to be careful, though, because you do see Queen of Pain hunting. as well as the Batrider back down here. So those mind games coming out here from either side. No black hole present at the top, but 3-3 is kind of charging in with that shapeshift as if he was hungry for something. But again, either side going to really find their chance to sail the bottom lane. Oh, he jumped in. And now he's going to be lassoed. He got his BKB off. That will help a little bit. Will it matter? Lycan, he's TPing in. He does not have his ulti, though. He actually cancels it.
Honestly, Ghostic, the way he was sort of like stutter steppering before he used the lasso, I wonder if he was actually waiting for the BKB to be used. Because if he lassos him before the BKB, Enigma doesn't really need to use the BKB afterwards, I don't think.
Yeah.
Anyway, just because the Batrider and the Queen of Pain were down here, it forces the Enigma to stay here, and now because of the Tempest double, it forces 2 more TPs, and he still gets the tier 3 tower. So this is literally how Empire needs to play this game in the next couple of minutes. Or the next, couple of minutes. This could be 20, 30 minutes from here on out, even longer. Strap yourself in, dude. We might be in for another 90-minute game. But yeah, this is how they have to play the game. Force those rotations, discourage them from going high ground as 5, and then just honestly just keep farming and pushing up the maps and pushing up the lanes, and then maybe hope for like a pickoff with the Queen of Pain, with the Batrider. Because they cannot take those fights head on anymore. At least not without buybacks, and I believe they should have buybacks back on pretty much everybody now. Nope, that's still another 2 minutes on Arc Warden.
Yeah, another 2 minutes, but Hellraiser, so you kind of wonder, the more we're seeing this here, and obviously the constant going behind from the Arc Warden, it's like if you're Hellraisers, do you just really run at Empire right here? Can you just run at their base, knowing how confident you are in your team fight? And try to win the game right here, right now. I understand that's easy for us to say as a spectator, but understandably why they wouldn't want to do it. But as I kind of say this, they're going. They're looking for a chance. The smoke is going to be stopped. The black hole in 2. Yes, he caught both right here. As a result, it's going to be a great couple of kills. Oracle staying dead. Batrider, he does have a buyback. So that's the opening that Hellraisers were looking for, no doubt. The pullback in on Miposhka. He's dead for 70 with the buyback. Hellraisers, they found something.
Yeah, and Empire are going to forfeit, well, not forfeit necessarily, but, they're doing the right thing on their 2 cores that survive, of course, immediately pushing out the other waves. Even though they're already knocking on the door, it's still backdoor protection. The wave is not there just yet, so they have a lot of time to play around here with, and FN is actually getting a tier 2 mid. So, correct response here. I'm not sure this buyback is really going to discourage HR, though. I feel like they could still fight this.
The Arc Warden bubble, FNE comes in. The Sonic Wave hits a couple. Kunkka including 3-3 pop shapeshift though. He's thinking about it. He's like, do I go, do I not? Do I go, do I not? FNE takes the Ice Blast and the response from Riverside. It is going to be enough for the kill. 130 seconds. Buyback is ready. He's definitely going to have to use it here though, right? They're going to go tier 3. That bubble again coming out, but having to deal with that. X going to pull back Earthshaker. That's going to be a dieback on him. Miposhka forced half the wrong way. And he will fall. Dieback, 85 seconds. He's going to be dead for us. So, yeah, Queen of Pain most certainly has to. There we go. She will buy back. The bubbles of Arc Warden, though. This ability is ridiculous, man. This is saving them right now. It's been saving them this game. Just simply using on the buildings.
That's a stupid hero for sure. This is... FN. I get the idea behind, going in there because you feel like they've been taking too much, and if you don't really kill them here, they might just come back to push in, but giving away a kill like that, buybacking, or then obviously forcing a buyback, that's just how you lose the game, really, giving away these crucial kills, because this is a time window where HR know, if they find another pickoff, if they kill the Queen of Pain, that's almost game, really. So this is... Empire not really doing themselves a favor here. In HR, the black holes are up soon again. Yeah, black hole is up again. A refresher is ready. Agrims is ready. This is the richest Enigma I've seen in a while.
Wait.
I'm not sure how Empire can deal with this. Like, if he finds another 2-man, 3-man black hole, that's Rex.
Yeah, I had to really do a double take there because he actually had 2 Ags on him.
Oh no, it's not his own Ags. Oh, it's not his own Ags, yeah.
One was his, or no, they weren't. Either one's his. Yeah, he hands them off. Ancient Apparition and Necrophos. Okay.
I thought it was his. He's just a glorified career at this stage.
That really was something. Okay, so he has Refresher though, double black hole ready, but even without the Ags, obviously still very threatening. Goes, he finds one target in Arc Warden. They cannot stop him. It seems like that's going to be a kill on Arc Warden. 140 seconds. He's definitely buying back here, I'm sure. as he finally uses it. The Tempest Devil going to be dying off. They will be able to take out Kunkka, as well as Enigma, as well as Necrophos, who got too deep. The lasso in. So they found the target they wanted. They get a buyback, but they went very deep for that. And Ancient Apparition even falls. So 3-3 at least makes it out for Hellraisers. Well, I don't know what to make of that, though. I mean, they got the buyback, but it cost them 4 of their lives at the same time for going so deep right there.
That was a bit awkward, to say the least. I think the idea was right, but unfortunately for them, they don't really have any deep vision behind the racks. I think their vision pretty much only extends towards the racks, right? So Bambo pretty much smokes in. He gets a little bit. He gets the glimpse onto the Arc Warden, and he thinks to himself, "Well, that's a beautiful kill right there." And I think the idea was the right one, but unfortunately, the response from Empire was just too strong. The HR was actually very split. Speaking of split, that's a lone Lycan here.
Yeah, he went for the solo kill. Oracle was just close enough, though. In 3-3, he is going to get caught. He's dead for 100. Buyback ready.
You know how I gave FN the speech and how this is how you throw away the game?
Yeah.
Well, HR, that's how you throw away the game. That's a free Roshan, that's a free cheese, that's a free Aegis. And this is pretty much, if you're Chappie, yeah, sure, you have to buy back, but you're going to get Aegis and cheese out of it. Yeah. Or at least the Aegis for himself. So this doesn't really matter for a Chappie anymore, and they are the ones that can apply pressure now. Or at least force out the buybacks. That's 75 seconds still in the Lycan.
Kunkka is probably dead here, too. He was trying to harass a little bit. And that's a dieback. He's dead for 100 seconds. It's just completely turning now in favor of Empire. The Aegis picked up by Chappie as expected. Cheese on somebody else. I'm guessing Batrider maybe? No? Hands it off. Where the hell is that Cheese?
Middle tower is under attack.
Oh,
Cheese is still in the
It's still in the pit. Go figure. That would be why. Anyways, Black Hole. They catch Queen of Pain. Queen of Pain. Ice Blast coming up. Where's the Reaper Scythe? There's the Reaper Scythe. False Promise goes up, though. And FN will stay alive for the time being. So now Necrophos in trouble. They also killed Enigma. Necrophos, he is going to be dying right here. He has buyback, as does the Lycan. They did end up killing Queen of Pain. Okay, she did die to that. And she's dead for 120 seconds now. So Necro buys back. Lycan 20 seconds. But Chappie still doing plenty. And he has the Aegis. He's obviously not too concerned at this point just yet. They are going to pick off Batrider, though, so that's another Reaper Scythe coming out. And you see J4, he's running after. No, not going to be able to stop the Arc Warden. So they end up getting a melee Rax out of it in the middle lane. And they strike first with the Rax, which is, again, really surprising considering how this game was going.
Poshka, pick up the cheese. Nobody's picked up the cheese yet. Come on, somebody must have been calling Wall. Who has the cheese, guys? I think that's a misclick.
What's that?
I don't think you buy back.
Oh, Batrider buyback, yeah.
Well, why did you buy back? I don't think you buy back on the Batrider here.
That does seem odd. Maybe they feel like they need him to defend, actually.
Yeah, but even if you do need the buyback for that, you probably hold on to it for a little bit. I mean, I guess he wants the cooldown to go down quicker. I don't know, but I feel like buying back this early was a bit of a waste. It's making me anxious that the cheese is all in there, by the way. Like, just thinking about the fact that Radiant could just casually walk in there and pick it up, just making me anxious.
Well, whoever checks it next is going to get a nice surprise of the cheese. No Spark Ray is going to slow this push a little bit, but here we go again. Batrider lassos up. The X going to cause issue. Gets the heals up as well. 3-3 in the back lines. Enigma, he's not even here, actually. He's back at the bottom lane. Vansco's going to survive to 3-3 for now. Ice Blast going through. Will hit. Reaper Scythe will finish off. No, it does not finish off. They do still kill him. And death on Airshaker, that is, who stayed in for 80 seconds. The bubble's not going to save the melee X this time. Meanwhile, at the top lane, buyback from Oracle. 3-3 is now wrapping around the middle. He's going for the tier 3 mid. And looking to beat that down. Abyssal Blade up in 10 more seconds. Chappie, he'll hold him off, though. And Enigma is now here with a double Black Hole ready to go for Hellraisers.
And this time around, without the Shaker, I don't know. This is definitely an opening where HR could go if they wanted to. As I say that, they might feel anxious or they might not feel good about this either because they also have no buybacks on their course, or at least on the Necrophos, and of course the Kunkka as well. So I'm not sure this is something they want to commit to just yet. Because if they do, this is how they throw the game.
Well, if they catch Chappie, though, with the Black Hole, that would be a dieback. That's probably their key right here. I mean, the Tempest double is going to hold for now. The lasso on a 3-3. That's going to be a big counter kill. And they'll get it. Remember, he saved his buyback, though. So that's the start.
They cannot fight this anymore.
These lassos, man.
Told you, strap yourself in for another half an hour. This is yeah, they get one lane racks, or actually not even a lane, just one racks, but that's basically it. And those buybacks are going to slowly come back online on the Dire side as well. And once those buybacks are back, that's going to make it more difficult for HR to really commit to pushes, because if anything, you're just going to force out buybacks in the retreat.
Has fallen.
I love seeing this too, by the way. Enigma did go the +8 demonic conversions on the Eidolons, so he has a crap ton of those walking around whenever he activates that.
I like it because there's not a lot of wave clear on the other side, but armor would have been so good against the Arc Warden. In those BKBs, black holes, you actually see him. If he gets hit by the Arc Warden can kill him pretty quickly. With Daedalus as well.
Yeah.
Like, Enigma is definitely not tanky. 7 armor on 2,300 HP is not a lot.
Oh no.
And then if you compare that to the Lycan, actually, Lycan is the complete opposite. Arc Warden crit him for 760 damage, and it basically didn't scratch the Lycan whatsoever because of all the armor. It's kind of ridiculous looking at this Lycan and, you know, seeing Arc Warden not really tickle him even.
Bottom lane, that's just a Tempest double, so can't really make a
Look
play
at how much
on
money this is for the Tempest double.
Yeah.
Oh no, everything right now, everything expired.
Yeah, that's kind of the dangerous thing, but
money.
I mean, I guess at the same time, you're not worried about feeding gold Arc Warden here at this point.
Oh, really? You're really not.
He's got plenty, and you can only do so much more. So there is a Moonshard on him. He, you know, Queen of Pain could probably use one as 2, of course.
Aegis expired.
Yep, you're right.
Dire are scanning.
No more Aegis to work with now. The cheese is
She's
still there, by the way.
Still in the pit. Oh, God.
I knew.
Again, it's making me feel very anxious for the Dire team. It's just, oh.
They're going.
At least sell it, you know?
Oh, no, it's a mistake. They're not obviously doing that on purpose. Ooh,
I believe they should have seen him convert these.
So close. Miposhka, he gets away before. J4's charging in. 3-3 will activate Shapeshift. But they are getting Empire to fall back, and don't think they're catching anyone here. The Wolves are scouting. Not going to see it. 3-3 go in the pit. Oh. Almost got the free cheese. Go back to farming here. I mean, Roshan can spawn in about 2 minutes, so we'll see. So that's probably going to be the timing around there when somebody eventually checks it at this point. But Eidolon push out in the middle lane. And they're going to kind of take over the map once again as Hellraisers. But they still have a little bit of a window. I mean, not really now, because Queen of Pain does have buyback and 10 more seconds on the Arc Warden. So, missing out there as far as really trying to get much out of it. So they're going to have to wait once again. Probably another Roshan's going to be of significance here.
Only 2 heroes, by the way, are not level 25 just yet. That's the Shaker and the Kunkka. The 4 position supports out of... it's something that we can look forward to, I suppose. Those level 25 talents. I believe that's going to be the Torrent AoE, and then, of course, the Enchant Totem. Actually, the health is not that bad here, either. The extra health. Yes. Just to be able to tank through a little bit more. Obviously, it's... well, you're still going to get bursted down quite easily, so maybe the Enchant Totem could also be nice, but at the same time, well, how often does Miposhka really get off a Enchant Totem in the fight? Or a clutch one, anyway.
Yeah,
oh, by the way,
yeah,
he picked up the cheese. FN picked up the cheese.
Did he?
Hallelujah.
Okay.
Yes, it's in his backpack.
There, Empire's lucky there. Got back and got the cheese, actually. So bottom lane being pushed out here by Hellraisers. They're going to get the bottom shrine, but meanwhile their top shrine is probably going to fall here as well. But Roshan, keep an eye on that. He still has 15 seconds before he could spawn. Again, going to be a while after that. Sexy Bambo has been on the duty of defending the base here, putting more Eidolons out, and pushing out the creep wave. So shrines go down. You're not really looking for more bigger items necessarily. It's just more the game of trying to catch the opponents out of position, specifically one hero, if you can, but proving to be a tough task here for both sides.
In 2 minutes' time, everybody's going to have buyback off cooldown, and I believe I'm not saying that that's sort of like the opening or the time window where teams are looking to do something, but I think that's when teams will not play as safe as they are right now. because you don't really want to look for a fight when your buyback's on cooldown. That doesn't make any sense.
Radiant are scanning.
But at the same time, it's also difficult just looking for a fight in general because everybody's going to be
real one, real one, real one. They got him. Not a Reaper Scythe kill, but okay. There's the buyback immediately.
Maybe not that difficult.
Yeah. I saw them porting in. It was a good job. They're off to the side and everything. I was surprised that was the real one. I had to double check that, but it sure was. And
luckily though for Empire, the lanes are getting pushed out quite quickly. So there's no like immediate lane that HR can push, and HR actually was looking for Roshan, which hasn't respawned just yet. So this is sort of something that HR cannot bank on. They're not really getting anything out of this kill other than the buyback, which in turn just forces Empire to play more defensively again. So strap yourself in.
Been strapped
actually, no.
in.
I think Empire actually should contest the Roshan, even if their buyback isn't cooldown. I think they need to contest this. I don't think they can afford to play against HR if they have Aegis and Cheese on the Necrophos or even on the Enigma. Like if Enigma has Aegis, that's how do you even take that fight if Enigma has Aegis? Because you kind of want to kill the Enigma first, but with the Aegis there, of course, it's going to make it difficult to actually, focus him down. He's always going to get Black Hole off, and if you have an insured Black Hole in a fight, oof, that's so good for HR then.
They literally see the spawn happen right as he does. So they're going in. They do get scanned out in the area. So Empire definitely has a good idea that it could be happening. Can they stop it, though? That's the big question. If they even want to. Sexy Bambo.
Doesn't look like they're going to contest it.
He's up at top there, but you're right. It seems like they're just going to give it up. Not having a buyback on Arc Warden, a little bit too risky, perhaps. And they're going to give it up. Now, who do they give this to? You mentioned Enigma. Sounds like it could be a possibility. I think
Enigma should get either the Aegis or the Cheese, but it's probably going to go Lycan Necro. Like all three cores are really strong with them. Obviously, as you mentioned, the Lycan maybe not as strong as the others, but Necro is an excellent choice as well. Did I give it to AA? All right. I guess the rationale behind that is, you want all the items on the other cores. Like all the cores have, or pretty much full slotted. You can see Lycan actually switching between the BOTs and the Vlads, and of course, we have just a lot of crucial items on them that you don't really want to miss out on in those team fights. So I understand this, but I think even the Kunkka would have been a better choice, to be honest, than the AA. AA is always going to be in the backline anyway.
Oh, they give it to AA here. You got Milan picking up the Cheese. He left it initially. I was like, are you kidding me? But no, he was just picking something up, and then he went back to get it. So he has it. Octarine Core on Batrider. I mean, that's when you know we're just in a very late game stage. You start seeing items like this, and he actually has his own Lincolns now coming along. Going to be a tool for himself, but also to assist others in these fights here. Arc Warden, how is he progressing? Okay, he has a refresher in his backpack. At this point, he obviously doesn't have a buyback, so the money's not really a concern right now. Still 5 minutes left. They smoked up in their base, at least a couple of the heroes on the Dire side, as they feel there could be some kind of an initiation soon at this point.
Ghostic is looking for some sort of like stray hero back here, but I doubt he's really going to find anyone. HR is playing this very patiently. I like this. They're grouping up. They're making sure that the only one that's really out of position in a way is the Lycan, and he's a Lycan.
Oop. They got the Enigma. However, the response is there. BKB's going off all over the place, and we're just going to reset now. So that was even the Tempest double. Kill him quickly. So the BKB will be down on Enigma here for 20 more seconds, though, so not the biggest deal. Going for the Rax, middle lane, Lycan just charging in. Fate's Edict will prevent that. Wears off, though. And now that Rax, it's actually melting pretty quickly here. Lotusaur's put up. No more Lasso for 5 more seconds. They're going to lose the middle melee Rax. And now they're going bottom. Here we go. This could be the game final push right here, right now. Range Rax goes down. The melee Rax possibly could be for this. Going all in. The bubble goes down. The Eidolons unable to do damage because of that fortification even put up. Going to be wearing off soon, though. And the Eidolon army will be killed off before the Rax actually does fall. So Hellraisers, they get a lot of objectives out of it. They cannot get the Mega Creeps, though, just yet.
I think Empire panicked a little bit. They didn't even stack there, so like they have like 3 protective spells, or I guess even 4 when it comes to defending their Rax. They have the Bubble, they have the Fissure, they have the Disarm, and then they have the Flame Break. They stacked them. They used the disarm and the Fissure at the same time while the bubble was up. So for the next racks, they couldn't even help that at all. And then at the end, they even used the glyph while the bubble was up as well. So that was maybe a little bit of miscommunication there. Because I think they could have saved one racks.
Necrophos, but Poshka jumps in as well. Enigma's already dropping right here. Can definitely knock it out for Black Hole. Kaiser's going to be picked off, but 3-3 is running after somebody. That would be Chappie. Chappie would be a dieback, and it looks like he's getting low, but the Matchbox coming in like it now. He's going toe-to-toe. Not going to be enough. The Reaper Scythe not enough either with the false promise initially. He probably is going to fall after the fact, though, I'd figure, as buybacks happening on both sides. Yes, down goes Chappie. He's down for 130. There's the Black Hole from Sexy Bambo. He bought back. He has a second one. Not necessary here, though. It's just the Oracle going to kill him off. And Poshka trying to save him, though, as he pops the cheese. And actually, Oracle going to stay alive for the time being. Obviously, Necrophos is dead for 120 seconds, but in comes Enliken once again. No ulti form for another 10 seconds. They're going to lock down Batrider, and they will finish him off. So that was a second Black Hole for that. It's just buybacks on either side now. Chaotic fight continues. Queen of Pain blinks away as it's Kunkka's turn now to even buy back and rejoin the fight. But obviously, if you're Hellraisers here, really trying to get the Mega Creeps, take advantage of Arc Warden being down for another 100 seconds, but not going to be able to just yet. Poshka, oh man, he gets the Shadow Blade off.
Yeah, and he knows where Bambo is as well. So, and they might even be able to.
Oh, 3-3 goes in.
Never mind.
There you go. What a decision by 3-3 there. Teleports in, BKBs, and takes out the racks for the Mega Creeps. And they're also going to get Miposhka. The torrent hit despite the Force Staff. That looked fucking, that's a couple of gems on the ground. He buys back immediately. But if you're Hellraisers, you can kind of just sit back now, I feel like, and not necessarily force this.
They don't have to force it for sure, but they can, actually. What's stopping them, really? I mean, there's not a lot of abilities up on Empire. I mean, yeah, I guess the Lasso, but without the Orca, without the Arc Warden, where's the damage to follow up on a Lasso? That's the Queen of Pain only. And, oh my god, they even get the Radiant, or the Dire Courier, which had at least one refresher. I believe there was, yeah, the Lincoln's was on top of there as well, so.
You're right.
I don't know. This is very difficult. This might just be. This should be GG. Honestly, AHR should not be able to lose this anymore, especially with the Arc Warden still dead for 30 seconds.
There we go. Echo Slam on pretty much every hero. Pretty good one from Miposhka right there. Lotus Orb's going up though. The lockdown on Batrider as he lasts in. He's dead and he's stained at FN. Throws out the Sonic Wave. They cannot kill him. You're right. GG, well played. It's called, and that will be the ancient kill. And Hellraisers will be up 2-0 in this best of 3 series now. What a game number 2. 77 minutes. And Empire just could not hang in there and get the response. I mean, Hellraisers, to their credit, I really got to say, 3-3 is an impressive Lycan player again. I feel like he had some big plays that game, some smart decisions, and he definitely plays Lycan a little bit different than I see others do it. And it was fun to watch him do his here. So
definitely fun to watch. I think this entire game was, I mean, we had what? Like something above 100 kills, 102 kills. Yeah, 102 kills across, what, 77 minutes? That's insane.
Yeah.
These two teams definitely giving each other hell, sort of. And, yeah, sure, we've seen a couple misplays on both sides, and ultimately I think Empire maybe overstepping their boundaries a little bit here and there and giving away maybe too many kills, but still very well played from both sides. Hellraisers do take it, though, and once again, they execute the draft, not necessarily flawlessly, but they sort of, like, know the strength of their own draft, right? They never really tried to take fights that were like unfavorable. They always tried to look for like really, really strong fights where you could take fights as 5, and I don't know, just a lot of good plays all around. Bambo with some clutch black holes. You know, I think yeah, there have been a couple of solo black holes, but a lot of times he also just had like 2 or 3 man black holes, and of course Kunkka as well with like a lot of clutch torrents. That torrent where he caught the Queen of Pain off guard and forced out a buyback later on as well. Really, really important. So Hellraisers looking. I mean, they look really strong right now. They've been looking very strong lately in general anyway. And Empire have to be really careful not to let this go down to like a 3-0 loss.
Yeah, if you're Empire here, of course, on these best of 5s, you're down 2-0. You need to win 3 games in a row now. And that's a very, very difficult task for any team, especially when you just lost the first 2. But take it 1 game at a time is the best advice you can give. And so we'll see how Empire responds here going into what is going to be Game 3 now. Down 2-0 in this best of 5 finals for the Skincoin WCA event. So guys, stay tuned. You type !Skincoin in chat. You can get information on the giveaway currently going on. As well as if you go to skincoin.org, you can check out the latest cryptocurrency on the esports market. Trading your favorite Dota 2 and even CSGO skins. Again, that is skincoin.org. I'm Breaky CPK. Was joined by Skim here once again. Game number 3 going to be coming up, guys. Stay tuned. We'll be back.